Order.
Order number 15. The National Government Coordination Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 25 of 2023. Resumption of debate.
The Honorable Geoffrey Mulanya, I'm told, was on the floor and had 7 minutes. 6 minutes. You may put, do you have a mic? You don't have the mic?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for granting me this opportunity to make a contribution, continue my debate on this particular motion. And for clarity purpose, Madam Speaker, the motion is about the National Government Act, the amendment bill on village elders. Madam Speaker, before I proceed on with my debate on the motion, I wish to wish all the village elders in our country a happy Valentine's Day as we continue to yes, they are very good and important Kenyans because the work they do supports peace and happy coexistence of our people in our country. Madam Speaker, according to the fair labor practice, it is fair for all workers to be remunerated and accorded a fair working conditions. Madam Speaker, we note that under the National Government Act of 2012, the structure of the national government ends at the assistant chief level. The village elder is not recognized under the law. And I really congratulate Honorable Malulu Njendi for thinking wise to bring it, the amendment, so that we can have the village elders included in the act as part of the administration. We note with appreciation that the work that the village elders do for our nation. We note for, personally as a lawyer, Madam Speaker, I note that we have been having complaint about the backlog of cases in courts. But we have not appreciated that we have a lower cadre of mediators in our villages. And these mediators are the village elders. Petty offenses are being solved in the villages by these particular village elders. Yet, the government has completely failed for a very long time to recognize and appreciate them by ensuring that they have a token at the end of the month. It is therefore my humble request that we as parliamentarians, we must consider this particular motion, ensure that this amendment passes so that the village elders can form part of the leadership pyramid in this particular country. I therefore support the motion and congratulate Honorable Malulu Njendi for introducing this particular amendment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Beatrice Ilachi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also rise to support this amendment bill of Honorable Malulu Njendi and to appreciate what he's proposing, Madam Speaker. Even as we speak and as we talk about Valentine today, we want to also appreciate. In this amendment, when we bring in the elders, we are talking about all these things that are happening today. That how can we deal with femicides that has hit our country? And we know the Nyumba Kumi was to come in to assist us, Madam Speaker, that time. To assist every village to understand who has come in, who is a new person, who is joining the neighbors. And this is why when we bring in this issue of elders, we are saying we want to see a Kenya that now turns around and brings hope that we can appreciate each other as neighbors. And if today we are saying there is love of neighbors, then we must ask ourselves, Is it important and is it fair for us to start as Kenyans appreciating who is your neighbor? And that is why, Madam Speaker, when we talk of the elders, we are saying we want a structure that comes in, that brings in a team that will help the chiefs, the assistant chiefs, Madam Speaker, to be able to know we have challenges of child labor, we have challenges of children not going to school, that the elders will be able to say in this community, these children have finished school, they are supposed to move to high school, to senior school, but they are still loitering around. Madam Speaker, even as we look at the structure, we want the government to appreciate that as we bring in even the community health workers, as we bring in the elders, we want a country, Madam Speaker, that will now have a sense of safety. And I know if we do it together as Kenyans, Kenyans who are very hardworking, Kenyans who are able to know what is best for them, how I wish we can stand and ensure all these things that are happening in Kenya, that, Madam Speaker, they can come to an end. And Madam Speaker, when you look at the proposals of Honorable Malulu Njendi, the most important thing we should be asking ourselves, I like when you say recruitment and appointment. For me, if I am asked, an elder should also have a value. That even without recruitment, Madam Speaker, people can identify these elders. They can say so and so brought this. They have a history of bringing good things in that community. Because if we go on this recruitment stuff, Madam Speaker, people now assume and they feel, oh, we are at work. And so they'll just do it as a job. This structure of elders is supposed to be people who have retired, people who have been there for the community, even those who never went to work, Madam Speaker, but they were there to give wisdom. They have been in the church. They have been in some structure within that village level. Those are the people we are looking at, both men and women, Madam Speaker. And so, for me, as we move on with this, we must be very wary on this issue of recruitment and appointment. We want to see elders who have something that they give in